Hello everyone and welcome to your Cambridge National Level 2 Sports Studies webinar. Today we are focusing on Learning Outcome 1, understanding the issues which affect participation in sport. We are going to focus on the solutions to barriers which affect participation in sport in the UK and give examples. As with other webinars, we look to introduce new content in small steps. We may guide your learning through questions and modelling. We will give you time to practice independently, and we will allow you time to reflect on your strengths and areas of weakness. In order to ensure you get the most out of this webinar, you will need the following things: something to make notes on, either a piece of paper or an exercise book, 2 different coloured writing implements, something to time yourself working, either a stopwatch or a mobile phone, and using linked resources where identified. Solutions to barriers. As we already know from your previous webinar, each user group will have specific needs that must be addressed to allow them to participate in sport on a regular basis. We know that these are referred to as barriers, and in order for them to participate, those barriers need to be removed. So what are the solutions to barriers? When we think about solutions, think app. This will allow you to remember those solutions when you get closer to your exam. app stands for access, promotion, and provision. So in short, when we think about access, we're thinking about how users get into the facility or the activity. Promotion, this is about how you make participants aware of what is on. And provision, what are you offering and when. Your first task is to pause the video and complete the following task. You need to come up with 3 brainstorms about how you could use each category using app to make sure that you maximise opportunities for all user groups to participate in a leisure centre that you run. This task should not take you no longer than 5 minutes. Off you go. Okay, so what is access? When we think about access, we're thinking about access to facilities. For example, ramps or lifts, disabled parking near the entrance, or having a bus service to and from the facility. Access to equipment, so for example, an hoist for swimming pool access, or specialised equipment, for example bell balls for blind football. Or sensible or reduced pricing for the unemployed, the children, the retired, or families. So what is promotion? So how are you going to engage your participants in a provision? This could be through the use of role models, for example, using celebrities or people of similar backgrounds. It might be through the use of social media or advertising in appropriate places to increase visibility to user groups. For example, in schools to target children, in doctor surgeries to target the retired, or perhaps in a job centre to target the unemployed. Okay, so what is provision? Programming sessions for use by different user groups, for example kabaddi for the ethnic minorities, or wheelchair sports, i.e. wheelchair basketball. Providing appropriate activity options for the demands of specific user groups, for example chair exercise for those who are retired, or children's swimming lessons. And finally, planning times to suit different user groups. So for example, parents with children would prefer sessions to be run through the mid-morning. Children who attend school would need sessions to be run after school. Or the retired would probably prefer a session to be run throughout the day when they feel safer to be out and about. Okay, so now you have time to practice independently. You need to pause the video and answer the following questions. On the left-hand side, what does the acronym APP stand for? And the second question, what solutions could be used to make participation in sport easier for single parents? You have 5 minutes in total to complete the tasks. Off you go. Reflection. Let's have a look how you've got on. So please mark your answers in a different coloured pen. So, the first question then, what does this stand for? Access, promotion and provision. Give yourself 3 marks if you've got that correct. The second question, What solutions could be used to make participation in sport easier for single parents? Reduced pricing, childcare provided, promotion of role models, or timings of sessions, so thinking about when those user groups are available. So now on your screen you have got a practice exam question. The exam question is asking you to look at the information and provide 2 solutions for participating in a sporting provision. So let's have a look. Rachel has a partner and 2 children. She would like to join a local running club which is 10 miles away. Rachel currently works full-time in the day and her partner works evening shifts Monday to Friday. The couple share the use of the family car. Suggest 2 solutions that could enable Rachel to participate in running. You have got 1 minute per solution. Off you go. Okay, welcome back. So let's have a look at the marking criteria then. You need to get your different coloured writing implement and mark your answers as we go along. So if you have put any of the following, you will gain 2 marks. Club offer running sessions at weekends. She could run on her own or with friends. She could find a nearer club. Seek out appropriate childcare. See if partner can use other transport to allow her the use of the car. Or she could use public transport or share a lift. And finally, could exercise at other times, for example, a lunch break. So if you have got any of those following, please give yourself 2 marks. Okay, moving on. So now we've come to the end of your webinar session. You should now be confident with the following: the solutions to barriers which affect participation in sport, and you should be able to give examples. Your last task. What I would like you to do is list 5 key questions from today's webinar lesson, or key words which you feel are the most important. Off you go. Fantastic. So now you should have listed 5 key words or 5 key questions from today's webinar lesson. So, you have now come to the end of your webinar lesson and you should now be confident with the solutions to barriers. Now you've collated all the information on the different solutions to barriers, you can now turn off the PowerPoint. You now need to head over to Teams and in your appropriate Cambridge National group, in the tabs column of the screen, you will access a quiz. What we would like you to do is take the quiz. There are 10 key questions. Once you have taken the quiz and submitted, you will get an instant score. What this will then do is inform your next steps. You will either have consolidated your knowledge of the solutions to barriers, or you will need more practice. If you need more practice, feel free to re-watch the webinar lesson. Well done and thank you.